Can you have too much fiber in your diet? Are you overwhelmed by the amount of diets that are out there? And are you tired of spending money on books and then they end up collecting dust and that's it? I pre-ordered this book several months ago, and I think I was taking part in a summit with all these great doctors that were talking about nutrition. And one of them was this author, Will Bolskowitz, Dr. B. He's a gastroenterologist, and he was talking about this book, and apparently he has a previous book out that I have not looked at before. I was intrigued by it because they were talking about the great recipes in it. So I ended up pre-ordering it, forgetting about it, and then when I received it, I did look through, and me and my little grandson, we were looking through all the beautiful pictures of all the food in here, and I thought, wow, it looks really good. I already knew when I started browsing, when I first got the book, that I was going to look forward to making some of these recipes. And recently I had the opportunity to look through it because I wanted some inspiration for cooking. And lo and behold, I was so surprised at all the really good information. I guess I just was thinking this is a recipe book, but it's so much more than a recipe book. If you're looking for gut health, if you're looking for delicious recipes, if you want to improve your gut microbiome, anything like that, but mainly if you want good food that's simple and healthy to cook, then this is really a good book for you. Why I was impressed is that throughout the recipes, the various chapters, he has some really good information based on his own medical practice. So he's talking about things that are really, really important, and he makes it so easy to read and understandable that he talks about things like how to test for certain diseases of the gastrointestinal tract, food intolerances, sensitivities. He talks about his own strategy for figuring out these issues and then resolving the issues if they can be resolved, because not everything is treatable, and some things you kind of have to live with and work around. And he's good about explaining that too. In the Fiber Fueled Cookbook, not only the beautiful recipes that are in here, but it reinforces the importance of the gut microbiome. A few years ago, I bought this book written by Brett and Jessica Finley, and this is the whole body microbiome, how to harness the microbes inside and out for lifelong health. Everybody, I think, has already heard about how important our gut health is and our microbiome. And so reading this book was really good because it really explains that, and it goes really into detail about all the different kind of things that happen in the gastrointestinal tract and the different processes and how the microbes affect different conditions. And this just goes into it in easier detail to understand. So it makes it more relevant to us, because if you're having any kind of issue with your gastrointestinal tract, he kind of explains it and explains how the microbes can affect that and how you can improve things. He uses his own strategy called growth, and he explains it throughout the book. And it's his way of first investigating and figuring out what the issue is, and then how the different letters stand for different things to take you through the process of healing your gut, if that's something that can be done. And it's really interesting. But he also talks about all these things that we all hear about: FODMAPs, gluten, celiac disease, and what else? Allergies, sensitivities, and he also includes the stool chart. This is something I know very well because as a nurse, we always had to have the stool chart at a patient's bedside in the intensive care unit or in different areas depending on what they were there for. So if you're going to get into figuring out your gut issues, you're going to have to talk about your poop. And it's really good that he intersperses all this really important medical information in an easy to read way. It's not at all off-putting alongside these beautiful recipes for food that he also has. So I highly recommend this book, as I'm sure you can tell. I will have this book linked in the description box, so if you're interested in it, and I'll also This is a good one too, so I will link this book also in the description box, so have a look in there. If you are interested in all things health and lifestyle for women over 50, then subscribe to my channel because I'd love to see you here. Looking after your gut has been something we have talked about for decades in my nursing profession, at least. That is hugely important, and it's very evident the sicker obviously you are, how important your gut health is to you. And it's so neat that he talks about all this stuff, and not only does he talk about all these medical conditions and food intolerances, but he has things in here like how to judge how fast or what the timeline is for your avocado to get ripened. And then he gives you tips on how to ripen that avocado, because that's an elusive beast, because it has to be just right. He also has how to make a sourdough starter, how to make gut healthy broths. He has, what else does he have? Sprouting. I haven't done that yet, but I'm kind of interested. And all those things are interspersed with all these great recipes. Recipes that I'm really looking forward to trying is actually the sourdough starter, because he has a sourdough flatbread in here, which I really want to make. He has a kimchi recipe in here for cucumber and spring onion kimchi that I'd like to make, as well as I think the next thing that I'm going to make is a paella. I think that's how you pronounce it, but that's what I want to try making next. The few things that I've made so far, and which I love, and I'm going to have some for lunch, is actually roasted eggplant dip. That's really good. You can use it in a bowl or just on your bread and toast like I've done. I've made the ginger broccoli pasta, and that's really good. I've also made the tofu feta because I'm going to make this Greek salad with quinoa. I think that's all I've done so far. Every one of those things has been simple, and the instructions are really clear, and it's a breeze to make. Who should get this book? Anybody that's interested in delicious healthy food, anybody that's interested in increased fiber, low-fat cooking, anybody that's interested in plant-based cooking, or you're just curious, or anybody like me that's been around and plant-based eating for a long time, just likes good food, and especially if you have any issues with your gastrointestinal tract, if you have gut health issues, if you have irritability in your bowel and you can't figure out what's going on, this book will kind of walk you through the steps on how to figure out what's happening and how to heal your gut. If you like videos about healthy lifestyle, watch this one next, because it's what I do today and things I enjoy doing to stay healthy. Have a great week. Bye.